Launched in 2014, the Yamaha MT-09 burst onto the naked bike scene as a direct competitor to bikes like the Speed Triple and the Kawasaki Z900. It quickly gained a bit of a cult following in the UK and the EU, and a bit of a reputation as a potent bike with decent looks and that really truly unmistakable 3-cylinder power delivery and engine note. Not something we'd seen from a Japanese manufacturer for a while. Fast forward to 2019, and the bike that you see us riding here is only really slightly changed from the original MT-09. It went through a facelift update in 2017 when it went to the twin headlight setup, and that also included some uprated adjustable suspension and also an electronics update with things like ABS, traction control. So first off, the engine. So the heart of the MT-09 is a 3-cylinder 847cc 12-valve triple. Yamaha call it the CP3, meaning cross-plane, and the 3 meaning 3-cylinder. And it is a very user-friendly unit. It does, like any triple, it really loves to be revved up high. It puts out a 115 brake horsepower and about 65 pound-foot of torque, and it's well suited to chugging around town, heading up and down the motorway, or even scratching on a B road. The best thing about the engine is its usability. It's a good engine whether or not you're a new rider, an aspiring rider moving up through the ranks, or you've been riding for a few years. So the only real fly in the ointment of the MT-09, and it's been a problem since the start, is its suspension. It's a bike that's built to a budget, and it does feel a little bit underdamped when you really push on hard. That said, the ride isn't actually that bad. It is quite a comfortable motorcycle. It's just not overly sporty, and you do get that kind of wobbling around mid-corner that you doesn't really inspire confidence. So as I've said, the B-Road is an MT-09's best friend, and despite the sometimes wayward suspension, the chassis and the engine work together to make it a mightily fun bike on a back road. It's got really short, stocky geometry, and that coupled with the mid-range grunt that the bike's got, make it perfect for popping wheelies and just hammering out of corners really hard. Because of the way that the bike is set up and it's got that sort of 115 sort of, it's exciting but it's fairly modest power delivery, you can push the limits with this bike, and it's a good bike to go and experiment and sort of just play around on a fast road. So the braking on the MT-09 is provided by some rather aging Yamaha Blue Spot calipers, and if you're old enough to remember them, they've been around since some of the earliest Yamaha YZF-R6s. They're not a bad caliper, they're adequate, they offer decent feel, but you don't get any of that confidence-inspiring bite when you really grab on the lever that hard. It's said there are pricier and better performing parts out there, but they would just eat into the profit margin or put off any potential buyers, because this is quite a good value motorcycle for a new or aspiring rider. So the Yamaha's got enough buttons and modes to keep a rider happy, but it doesn't muddy the idea that this is just a fun bike to ride and ultimately a roadster to go and enjoy motorcycling on. So you've got traction control, which is switchable. You've got 3 riding modes, I think 1, 2 and 1 standard and 2, and sort of 1 is the most sort of fierce with quite a hairline throttle response. But it's enough there to keep you happy. The bike's also got ABS and a really good slipper clutch. I did like the slipper clutch. It really takes it just sort of smooths out sharp downshifts when you're hammering into a corner on the and downshifting the engine. Just keeps the bike really nice and composed. So B-road scratching potential is what this bike is all about, and what it thrives on a sunny day like the one that you're watching me ride around Northamptonshire on. I tell you what, if you had an MT-09, some decent weather and some decent roads, you will never have a bad day on this bike. Yeah, I've said it a couple of times, the suspension is below par. That said, WP do sell cartridge kits that completely transform the bike. I know, we rode it back to back on the day that we filmed this piece. It would be nice though for a manufacturer like Yamaha to get it right for you straight out of the box. At the end of the day, the MT-09 is a bike just built to fulfill a task, and that is to either get new riders onto big bikes or to help people to move up from bikes like the MT-07 onwards and through and onto bikes like the MT-10. And for that, I think it's perfect. It's the ideal motorcycle for a rider moving up the levels. For the money, and for what there is available on the market today, the MT-09 is a very, very safe bet if you are looking to get a naked roadster that was under 1000cc.